want to continue with our study of the book of Isaiah in our history class, History of Israel, Torah class. Now we are looking at Isaiah chapter, what should that be? 25. Am I right? Last week we looked at Isaiah chapter. He will save, he will protect. Those who defiantly disobeyed and dishonored him, he will thrash them. He will take them away out of the earth. They will not inherit the earth, because the earth is created for the righteous, not for the sinners, not for the wicked, not for those who will overthrow it or do whatever they like. No, the earth is the footstool of Yahweh. He glory in it because it is his own. And the Son is coming back to take charge of the earth. So Yahweh is the owner, custodian, and he rests on earth. We need not to, abuse it, destroy it. And this is the reason he's coming back, to deal with those who are destroying the earth today. So that is Isaiah telling us that all those who are abusing, mutilating, overthrowing, destroying his earth are going to be devoured. Do not allow them to, treat the earth. He will not allow us to treat the earth as we want. Let us look at Isaiah chapter 35, 25. O Yahweh, thou art my Yahweh, I will exalt thee, I will praise thy name, for thou hast done wonderful things. Thy counsels of old are faithfulness and truth. Counsel of Yahweh. You see, why is Yahweh being praised here? Yahweh is being praised for his righteous acts. For his righteousness acts. One, he's being praised because he is a righteous judge. No mistakes. He's a righteous judge. Yahweh is a righteous judge. And how does he judge? He judges faithfully. How else does he judge? Truthfully. No mistakes. So the people that that has been overthrowing the kingdom of Yahweh on earth, the kingdom of Yahweh on earth, this earth is his kingdom. It's an extension of the heavenly kingdom. Many of us don't know. And that is a matter of discussion Sunday about the kingdom. It's extending the kingdom, or has already extended, because Yeshua has come and told us, about this extension. Remember our prayers which he taught us. The kingdom of the Father, let it be on earth as it is in heaven. So people have so much bastardized it today. They are doing whatever they like. They think Yahweh is not seeing them, or then he doesn't understand, or he's far removed, or he doesn't know what things on earth, or he doesn't even exist. But here in Isaiah chapter 24, it said he is coming. with swift judgment, and he's going to judge righteously because he's a righteous judge. In faithfulness and truthfulness, in faithfulness because those that follow him, that follow after the faith which Yeshua taught us, the covenant way, they must remain in that faith. They are going to escape. Those that follow the truth. What is the truth? The word. John 17:17. That is the truth. Truthfully. So based on the covenant and the word, he's going to judge the world. No two ways about it. So that is the first verse there in chapter 25. For thou hast made of a city an heap, of a defenced city, a palace of strangers to be no city. It shall never be built. Many nations will be destroyed. Many nations will be turned upside down. Many nations will be annihilated. Many nations will be cut off. And many areas will be heaped. They will be completely without any human being. Therefore shall this strong people glorify thee. The city of the terrible nations shall fear thee. After you would have finished, those nations that have lived in pollution, polluting the city, polluting the earth, they will know. Today they don't know. Today people don't know that there is Yahweh that is, you can't contain his anger. You can't contain his, when he speaks. Do you know, if you want to understand who we are talking about, the Almighty we are talking about, the Creator of heaven and earth we are talking about, he came cheerfully, he came to welcome his people before his presence. Before his presence. In Exodus 19, guess what? What did they see? What did they receive? Let's go to Exodus 19. People don't know. Israelites had to beg Yahweh. Don't speak again. Please, your voice will finish us. Your voice will hear, will sweep us away. We will be destroyed if you continue to speak. Now let's look at Exodus 19 from 16. And it came to pass on the third day in the morning that there were thunders and lightnings. This is Yahweh speaking to his people in a lighter mood, in friendly way, not in anger, not to provoke them, not to strike them, not to destroy them. He came to appreciate them. He came to give them his commandment by first of all reading it out to them, to their ears, so that they will hear, they will believe, they will understand what he's saying. One-on-one. It's just interaction. You want to interact with them. But what were they seeing? What were they hearing? What were they, seeing around them? Listen to what happened around them. That the world don't understand what they're about to face. When he said he will shake heaven and the earth. Here, where they were listening to him, he wasn't really shaking anything. It was his voice they were hearing. But in these latter days, he's going to shake the whole of heaven and he's going to shake the whole of the earth. Do you know what is going to happen? The stars will be falling from heaven onto the earth. The sun will not stand the situation, will not give the light. The moon will not give the light. And the human beings will be shaking like a reed, will be shaking like a leaf. People will run to and fro, run to mountain swallow me, river swallow me, fire consume me. No, those will say, well, I'm looking for where to hide. I'm not going to hide anywhere because nothing is protecting me. I'm bound to be destroyed by who is facing me. So that is in a very lighter mood or in a very simple, a simple way of meeting his people. Oh, let us interact. See what was coming out. Thunders and lightnings and the thick cloud upon the mount and the voice of the trumpet exceeding loud, so that all the people that was in the camp trembled. Trembled. They were there to hear him speak and relate with them as father will relate with the children. Guess what they received? Trembling. And Moses brought forth the people out of the camp to meet with Yahweh, and they stood at the nether part of the mount, and Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke. The mount itself was on a smoke, because Yahweh descended upon it in fire. In what? In fire. And the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mount quaked greatly. And when the voice of the trumpet sounded long and waxed louder and louder, Moses spoke, and Yahweh answered him by a voice. And Yahweh came down upon Mount Sinai on the top of the mount, and Yahweh called Moses up to the top of the mount, and Moses went up. And Yahweh said unto Moses, Go down, charge the people, lest they break through unto Yahweh to gaze, and many of them perish. This is a consuming fire. Yahweh says he is a consuming fire. So people don't understand. They don't understand. They play. You see, simple because our eyes do not behold him as at now. And it's like he's hiding himself. Let me stay clear from these people and see what become of them, according to Deuteronomy chapter 32. And he's steering clear. It's like he's not speaking, it's not doing anything. And they believe that he's not there. They can do anything, they can talk anything, they can say anything, they can behave anyhow, they can pollute the earth, they can turn it upside down, they can... So judgment is coming. Isaiah 24 and Isaiah 25. Now there is thanksgiving to Yahweh. You are righteous, you are holy, you are faithful, you are truthful, you are a covenant keeper, your word is true, your judgment is righteous. Now let's continue with Isaiah 25. We look at verse 4 there. For thou hast been a strength to the poor, a strength to the needy in his distress, a refuge from the storm, a shadow from the heat, when the blast of the terrible ones is as a storm against the wall. Don't fear. Whatever they are doing to you today, marginalizing you, impoverishing you, making you to depend on them as needy, causing you to be distressful, causing you to be sorrowful, causing all manner of pains, anguish, agony, causing you to mourn from day to day, causing all manner of evil against you. Said they behave like storm. All those are like storm of human beings, storm of the devil, storm of Satan. Said one day they will stop. When Yahweh stands, storm will never stand to fight you, deal with you again. There is no two captains in a ship. Yahweh is the captain. So now that it appears Yahweh is quiet, watching and looking at everything, waiting for his people to return to him every day, calling them, waiting for them with open hand, come back to me. People are taking it for granted that he's not there. People are taking it for granted that he's weak. People are taking it for granted that Yahweh is not helping, or Yahweh is not listening or hearing again. Yahweh is not interested upon what is happening in this earth, or that Yahweh has gone, or is fast asleep, or is gone abroad. But the truth remains that Yahweh is coming, and not too long. he is going to deal with the wicked. He is going to blast the storm. He is going to hit those who have been hitting you hard. And he's going to sweep them away. He's a righteous judge. He's going to do it because his own children have been so terribly dealt with. And he's going to visit those who've been dealing very terrible, against his people. He's going to visit them and treat them far greater than how they have treated you. Thou shalt bring down the noise of strangers as the heat in a dry place, even the heat with the shadow of a cloud. The branch of the terrible ones shall be brought low. The branch of the terrible ones, the hidden world, the Gentile world, they are persecutors, those who've been afflicting you. He will bring them low. They will be what? Slaves to you. You will be their master. That is what he said in Isaiah 14. If you read Isaiah 14, let's quickly jump there. Because Isaiah appears to hold the key to virtually all these prophetic utterances that will soon happen. Isaiah chapter 14, I read from verse 1. For Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob, you and I, we are children of Jacob, Israel, and will yet choose Israel. Did you hear that? And set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. That is strangers that show kindness to you even at this time. Yahweh will bring them in, the Gentile, the hidden ones. But what about those who are not in any way showing you that kindness but have become storm against you? Yahweh will visit them. Now, these ones that showed kindness, they will become slaves to you. Or the Gentiles. Anyone that survive and want to come, or you pick, they will become slaves. And the people shall take them, did you hear that? And bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Did you hear that? Verse 3. And it shall come to pass in the day that Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, all those sorrow that cause you, all those pains that cause you, the affliction that cause you, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how has the oppressor seized the golden city seized? One day, Yahweh will cause all these things to cease. All the trouble, all the, hula bula, all the pains, all the anguish, all the agony that they have been causing you. One day, Yahweh will bring them to an end. You'll be free. And those who have made you slaves will become slaves. And you'll be their master. That is the word of Yahweh, can never be changed. Verse 6. Isaiah 25, verse 6. And in this mountain shall Yahweh of hosts make unto all people a feast of fat things, a feast of wines on the lees, of fat things full of marrow, of wines on the lees, well refined. Yahweh is going to do what? Call us into marriage supper of the Lamb. Yahweh is going to call us into dining and wining. Yahshua is going to take charge. Jeremiah 48 verse 11 and Revelation chapter 19 verse 9. That is going to happen. He's not a liar, he's faithful. He says a thing, he brings it to pass. Verse 7. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. The veil that is now ripping people off. The veil thrown at your face. The face mask, as it were. Today we are literally seeing the face mask. Now, whatever it is, spiritually, physically, that they have used to take away many will be destroyed. So the veil of Satan that has covered the earth will no longer be there. Yahshua will destroy it on that mountain of Jerusalem. where his people will be gathered for celebration. He will destroy all the instruments of deception, all the instruments of cutting away, all the instruments of iniquity, all the instruments of destruction, all the instruments of, putting people, Yahweh's people, away from him. He will swallow up death in victory, and my sovereign Yahweh will wipe away tears from off all faces, and the rebuke of his people shall he take away from off all the earth, for Yahweh has spoken it. Those who rebuke you now, those who chastise you now, those who punish, those who afflict, those who send into prison, those who cajole, those who do all manner of evil things, he will stop them. There will be no more. And it shall be said in that day, lo, this is Yahweh. We have waited for him, and he will save us. This is Yahweh. We have waited for him. We will be glad and rejoice in his salvation. This is Yahweh. Who is Yahweh? Yahweh here is Yahshua. Yahshua. And he is our salvation. What have we been doing? We have been waiting for him. We have waited for him. So, this is who we have been waiting for. He is our deliverer. He is our salvation. He will restore us. He will redeem us. And no man will have power or authority over us anymore. For in this mountain shall the hand of Yahweh rest. This Yahweh here being referred is Yahshua. And Moab shall be trodden down. These are part of people, the children of Lot, that have been against Israel up to today. They will no longer chase Israel again. They will no longer fight Israel again, because they will be dealt with and be put down. They will be under your feet. And Moab shall be trodden down under him, even as straw is trodden down for the dunghill. And he shall spread forth his hands in the midst of them, and he that swimmeth spreadeth forth, as he that swimmeth spreadeth forth his hands to swim. And he shall bring down their pride together with the spoils of their hands, and the fortress of the high fort of thy walls shall he lay low, and bring to the ground, even to the dust. So what he's saying here is, whatever fear you are going through today, whatever pain you are going through today, it will never be compared to the victory you will reap tomorrow. The victory that is coming your way is massive. So it calls for what? Courage. Courage. It calls for endurance. Endurance. And it summons us to do what? Overcome. Overcome whatever difficulty, whatever trouble, whatever problem, whatever issue that you are facing today, so that you will stand before the Son of Man when he comes to restore you into the land. So here we can read in between lines there that he is talking about restoration. Restoration of his people. Whether they are Gentile or Christians, whether they are Gentile or Israelite believers, the Jewish people, Israelites, at that time everyone shall be one. His people shall be called Israel. The name shall be Israel. So talking about restoration of Israel. Israel shall be restored. So you need courage, you need to endure all things, you need to overcome, you need to persevere, you need to continue to show faith. Show faith. what is going on in the world today, at times you may want to stand to challenge it. At times you may want to say, what is going on? Why am I treated this way? Or you are in position to grab all that is grabbable, and then somebody want to rob them of you. You want to do one thing or the other to join them. He said, anything that will put you into pollution, don't try it. You rather allow them to enjoy all the whole things that they say that is their own in this earthly decaying, things of the world. Allow them. Even if it is your possession, allow them. Allow them. Because the real blessings and prosperity and successes is yet to come. Is coming your way. It is the promise made, not in this vanishing world. It is the word of his own that is coming. The word that he is making, preparing the land of Israel, the kingdom of Israel. That is where you have permanency. That is where you have everything is going to come to you. It's going to last. It's going to be durable. Nobody can twist it. Nobody can change it. Nobody can take away whatever he has given to you. That time is coming. Isaiah saw it clearly. Yahweh preached it. Yeshua preached it. What are you thinking? What are you doing? Are you competing? Are you contesting? Are you trying to fight your way in order to acquire the whole world? In order to acquire all that? No. He said, instead of anything, if you see anything that will take away your life, do whatever you like, that is possible to come out of it. Put on faith. Come out of that situation. If your right hand will cause you to sin, cut it off. If your left hand will cause you to sin, cut it off. If you see your leg, take it away. If you see your eyes, any of your eyes that will cause you to commit sin, even if it's the two, plug them away. He said it's better you go into the kingdom blind, because he will restore the eyes there, than for you to have the two eyes or two hands or two legs, or then sin and perish in the world. No, he doesn't want any of his people to perish. That's why he gave that instruction. Whatever it will take, it all takes courage. You have to muster courage. You have to be fervent, acting faithfully, so that you'll be able to be part of this position. And it continues. It continues. Praises of Yahweh as a righteous judge continues in chapter 26. So let us look at chapter 26. Chapter 26 of the Isaiah. Still talking about in that day. What is in that day? Hello, unmute. Can you answer? What is on that day? Mommy, what is on that day? I have explained this. In that day, the day of Yahweh. Last days. Talking about last days. Talking about end of this age. That great day. The day of Yahweh. Day of Yahweh. Day of Yahweh, because this is the period Yahweh is coming with anger. So the day of Yahweh is day of wrath, day of provocation, is day of, the day people will pay the price of, or pay dearly for their acts, their actions, their behavior. He's saying now, watch out your behavior, watch out your acts, watch out what you are doing against Yahweh. Yahweh is preaching, is begging you, is one day Yahweh will speak, his voice will be like thunder. You will hear the thunder, you will be begging him. He will not listen to you. He will not listen to you, because in the days when he was begging, he didn't hear. He told you, peacefully, through the mouth of his prophet, through the mouth of his disciples, through the mouth of his teachers, through the mouth of his pastors. He begged you. He called you. You laughed at him. You joked. You said, who is he? And let us listen to him. Zephaniah chapter 1. I read from verse 14. Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 14. Talking about in that day, that great day, day of Yahweh, the end. Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 14. The great day of Yahweh is near. It is near, and hasted greatly. Even the voice of the day of Yahweh. The voice. Did you hear that? We heard him speak through his own voice to the people of Israel in Exodus chapter 19. They were not able to stand it. His voice will soon hit the earth again. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly, wherever they are. The kings, the princes, the rulers, the prime minister, the presidents, they will cry like a baby when they hear his voice. That day, did you hear that? That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. Did you hear that? Verse 16. A day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers, and I will bring distress upon men. Did you hear that? He will bring distress upon men. Men will cry for their life, they will not see life. At times, they want to live. They run helter-skelter. Even at times, they want to die. Because to live will be difficult. They wouldn't see a way to live. Then they will be looking for a way to die. They won't see death. Distress. Torment. I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against Yahweh. What did they do? Sinned. You see, Bible is talking about two things. Blessings or curses. That is the summary of Bible. Israel choose blessings and live. Or you choose curses and you die. That's what Bible is talking about. It is calling his people and the whole world. But Israel, that is the first son, the first fruit, is refusing to hear, blinded to see. They remove themselves far away from Yahweh. Don't talk to us again. Do you know we have arrived? The earth is our own. We can pollute it. We can do anything on it. Yahweh said, I will empty the earth. I will empty the earth. Then you tell me where you belong or who owns the earth. A day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. Those cities that have been built, fenced so greatly that it is impenetrable, that is unbreakable, that can never be removed. Yahweh says he's going to uproot it. A little earthquake, everything will go down. Let alone the voice of Yahweh. When the voice came, everywhere will be begging to be saved. Verse 17. And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against Yahweh, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. Their blood is going to be poured out like water. Can you see that? Shall be poured out like dust. As you pour dust, as you pour water. It's ruined. Throw it away. Everything will just vanish completely. And their flesh as the dung. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of Yahweh's wrath. They want to bribe Yahweh. Can they bribe Yahweh? Those who are busy today eating bribe, taking bribe, giving bribe, they will be punished. And they may want to extend bribe to Yahweh for where? Fear, panic, anguish, terror. Would they even open their mouth? They know they can't even dare that. Because silver and gold belong to Yahweh. How can you bribe Yahweh? Even if Yahweh is to take bribe, can you bribe him? He owns all those things. He can't take them. And he hates a briber. One who is in the business of bribing and receiving bribe. He hates such a person. But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. All them that dwell in the land. This includes his land, Israel. Judgment will first start from, when Yahweh is speaking, he's speaking from the standpoint of his land, standpoint of his people. Then it will flow into the world. It will reach and touch people of the world. So judgment first begins from his own house, his own people. He judged them. If you read Zephaniah chapter 2, going forward up to chapter 3, it's all about woe, destruction, disaster. Yahweh, that tells you the anger of Yahweh that is coming. People do not see it now. People do not know it now. People do not even want to understand about it or read about it. Even when you tell them, they say, no, it's not even there. I think he's quiet and quiet forever. He can't do anything. He can't challenge. He can't do a thing. So people think. It's unfortunate, but they are going to pay dearly for it. Going back to Isaiah 26, verse 2. Open ye the gates, that the righteous nation which keepeth the truth may enter in. Open you the gate. Now he's speaking in favor of Israel. When the wrath of Yahweh will come on board, guess who that will be going home? Will be going home on that day of Yahweh's wrath. He will save first fruits, Israel. They are the firstborn. He will save them. He will save them for the onslaught, for what is, what will be erupting on the earth. They are called righteous nation. Israel is called righteous nation. Tell me, what are they called? Somebody quickly. Exodus chapter 24, Exodus chapter 19. What are they called? Peculiar people. Peculiar nation or people. What are they called? Remember? First Peter chapter 2, verse 5 and 9. Remember? Exodus chapter 19, 5 to 6. Remember? This is what is referring to the nation, the righteous nation, the peculiar nation. Now, what other name do they have? They are called firstborn. Firstborn of Yahweh. It's somewhere in Exodus. What else are they called? Priests. Priests of Yahweh. Holy people. Holy people. So when the world is burning, the anger of Yahweh will be leashing. Yahweh will separate his people from the trouble that all those nations will be receiving, including the nations of Israel, or the people of Israel that are heady now, strong-head, rebellious. treacherous, disobedient, they will also take part in the wrath of Yahweh. But the obedient ones will go. The righteous people will go. Israel that are righteous, that are obedient. What other name did he call them? Covenant what? Covenant what? Covenant keepers. Are you know the covenant keeper? What other name did he use to qualify them? Royal priesthood. We have said it. Royal priests. They are priests. Royal priesthood. What other name did he call them?
Little frogs.
Little flocks. Good. Little flocks. What other name? We make it up to 9, 10. Are they holy or unholy? Holy people. Holy nation. Must be holy, for he is holy. They are saints. They are the people called saints.
Have you already written first fruits?
First fruits, yes, that is done. You know, when you celebrate, that is what you know. When you celebrate the feast of Passover, all you are celebrating is the first fruit. Sorry, the feast of Pentecost. First fruit. You remember the sheaf, the first fruit during the springtime when they are harvested, the first fruits. So he's harvesting us now. He's teaching us, he's guiding us, he's gradually taking us there. When the time comes, say, okay, open door for them to enter. They will enter. People of Yahweh, why? Okay. People of Yah. We are people of Yah. That is it. So many. There are so many, nomenclatures that has used to describe his people. The apple of my eyes. Remember? We are his apple of his eyes. He doesn't joke with apple of his eyes. So anybody that is terrorizing, doing whatever is, the person is cutting for trouble. Cutting for trouble because Yahweh will remember him, whether he's alive or dead. Whether the person is alive or dead, Yahweh will remember him because he has inherited a curse, trouble, and he will pay dearly for it. Verse 3, Isaiah 26, verse 3. Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, Israel. Yahweh will keep Israel in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusted in thee. How will you become these? You must have faith. Israel are faithful servants of Yah. They are faithful servants. They trust Yahweh. Faith, trust, confidence. Because we rely on him on daily basis in whatever this is how we will be qualified to enter the land. Remember, don't ever forget. When you hold the Bible, when you lift the Bible, what you think is about the seed and the land. Let thy kingdom come. Where is the kingdom coming? From heaven to earth. Who is the chairman and commander-in-chief? Yahshua. And him is going to be the governor of the land. Isaiah chapter 9 verse 6 and 7. The government will rest upon his shoulder. It will be without end. Daniel, virtually all the whole prophets. Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Isaiah, they talked about that. So, verse 4 says, trust ye in Yahweh forever For in Yahweh is everlasting strength. Did you hear that? Trust in Yahweh, because forever you have everything in what? In Yah, who is our Yahweh, forever and ever. So you have your confidence, you have your everything. Is everlasting strength. So whatever they are doing to you, remember whom you are. Trust in Yahweh, because forever in Yah is everlasting strength. In whatever you are going through, He is your strength. He is not dead. He can never die. Death doesn't have anything to do with Him. He lives forever and ever. So don't suddenly forget. Don't suddenly forget who called you. Isaiah here is instructing Israel. Isaiah here is telling us what we should hope for. Isaiah here is here admonishing us. Isaiah here is encouraging us. Isaiah here is saying, open your eyes, shine your eyes, know whom you are, whom you belong to, whom you owe your allegiance, who you owe your worship, whom you reverence to, whom you submit yourself, whom you follow. Know Him. Hold on to Him. From everlasting to everlasting. Don't think there is another. He is the only one. Verse 5. For He bringeth down them that dwell on high, the kings, the mighty men, the lofty city. He laid it low. He laid it low, even to the ground. He bringeth it even to the dust. This will give you courage. This will, increase your faith. That those people think that they are powerful, most powerful. He subdues them. Those that are terrorizing us today, Yahweh says that He's in charge. They don't have power over you. They may appear to you to be so powerful. Let's name nations or countries that are overthrowing us today. For example, who are the countries that are showcasing themselves where you have the big powers of the world? Kings, queens, rulers, powers of the world. America, isn't it?
Yes.
Russia, isn't it? China, isn't it? Britain. Call them United Kingdom. That is what they answer now. United Kingdom. This is scripture in reality. We are not telling tales. We are reading what Yahweh prophesied how many years ago? 720 something or 750 something BC, before Yeshua even came on the earth. This prophecy have been there. And when are we going to read this? In the latter days. Remember, when His wrath will be unleashed against those who have been polluting the earth right from the time of Adam till today. So their days are numbered. Who are they? They are those in Ghana. They are those in Nigeria. If you don't know. Oh, they are Baba. United Nations. United Nations. That is their. See, all of them are united under this umbrella. They are one. So they are the people that are oppressing, suppressing their kings, their rulers, their queens, their whatever, hitting and knocking you, ripping you off. You build a house, they take it. You make so money, you work so hard, they use tax, they use everything, cut it and give you little. When you enter a supermarket, they use VAT, they take them. When you turn around your car, they take everything that you are earning goes into their, look at your rent. You pay, all the bills in the house, they keep on piling. They don't, you see, there is no end to making, to subjecting, to trouble, to make sure they impoverish, bring you low. Even the low is not even enough for them. They want to exterminate, they want to destroy, they want to take away. Yahweh said, look at what he said in verse 6. The foot shall tread it down, even the feet of the poor, and the steps of the needy. Yahweh is going to make sure that he will not let them go. They will not go scot-free. The foot shall tread it down, even the feet of the poor, and the steps of the needy. The way of the just is righteousness, uprightness. Thou most upright does with the path of the just. So he called us again, remain just, remain upright, remain faithful. They will do you everything. They will match you, they will malign you, they will abuse you, they will mock you, they will, want to get rid of you, even get rid of you. Don't bother. The way of the just is uprightness. Thou most upright dost with the path of the just. We must continue to move the way of justice. We are children of righteousness, children that are, made with the righteousness of Yahweh. Yea, in the way of thy judgments, O Yahweh, have we waited for thee. We are waiting for our daddy in heaven to commence this. He will come with judgments. He will judge them because they have dealt with us. The desire of our soul is to thy name and to the remembrance of thee. What is, as we wait for Yahweh, as we go on the path of justice, uprightness, faithfulness, righteousness, and so on, righteousness. As we tread on this path, we are called to do what? To do it based on his name. On his name. So, why is his name important here? Why is his name important here? I'm asking a query. So, in the way of judgments, O Yahweh, have we waited for thee. The desire of our soul is to thy name and to the remembrance of thee. If you run the race, or if you are running the race, and you don't know his name, you should forget it. Do you know what David said? In your name we will destroy our enemies. Time will come when Yahweh will empower you against these nations and you put them down. Remember what he said in Isaiah 14. In Isaiah 14 he said, all those people that have so maligned you, so brought you down, so made you low, that is going to, make them to be slaves. How will he will empower you? Because your name, the name of Yahweh will be in your forehead. And whatever you command is a decree, shall come to pass. Anybody that stands Yahweh, you bulldoze. That's how you're going to make them slave. Your word will be so powerful. The word that he's talking about is going to be activated in you. During this particular time, the wrath of Yahweh will descend upon the earth. The word of Yahweh will be activated in you. you will be glorious. You will be. So anybody that does not go by his name is in trouble. That's what verse 8 is talking about there. Because the judgment, everything is going to unleash is he. And he reigns by his name. His name is his glory. And his glory must be upon his people. So if you don't carry that glory, how can you subdue your enemies? Verse 9. With my soul have I desired thee in the night. Yea, with my spirit within me will I seek thee early. For when the judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness. When all these things will be happening, there are those who may escape. How? Because if you don't know him, you don't carry all his attributes, then how will you teach those people? Because you will remain a teacher. You are a teacher, you remain a teacher forever. He has called you into righteousness. You remain a righteous person forever. So that's why even in the day, in the night, you meditate of his name, his attribute, whom he is. You meditate in your spirit. When you sleep, when you wake up early in the morning, it's all about him. Now, when the judgment will come, those that may escape will want to seek him. Then you introduce him to Yahweh. Introduce them to Yahweh. To Yahweh. His name. That is the saving grace. The saving glory. Let favor be showed to the wicked. Yet will he not learn righteousness. You see, all the people that are evil, wicked, today, no matter what you do to them, even teach them the truth, you offend them. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of Yahweh. The wicked is wicked. He doesn't listen to you concerning your creator, concerning your maker. He hates you even when you come along with your maker. But time will come when they will suddenly wake up. To many of them, it will be too late for them because they have so, eat and drunk with Satan that the lifestyle of Satan, characteristics of Satan is already embedded in their DNA. There is nothing that we can do about it. So they'll be wiped out. But those who Satan has been confronting, using them to attack you, who have not been, their DNA has not been neutralized by the enemy, may be saved. And Yahweh will depend on you also to do what? To bring them in, because you know their name. You know the name of Yahweh, you carry his glory. So by that time, when you are teaching those people, it will be easy. They'll be readily, because they have seen what they have not seen before. And they have seen you. They've known you. They've known how you have escaped. They've seen the power of Yahweh in you. No more resistance. They will just quickly surrender. And they'll bring them to Yahweh. Verse 11. Yahweh, when thy hand is lifted up, they will not see, but they shall see and be ashamed for their envy at the people. The fire of thy enemies shall devour them. Time will come. Time will come when they will suddenly wake up. Now they are not seeing what you are doing. Now they are not understanding what you are preaching. Now they are so envy of you. They are pained. They, in fact, merely coming to them is a chastisement. They don't want to see you. But time will come. The time will come when there will be no more. Yahweh, thou shalt ordain peace for us. For thou also hast wrought all our works in us. The peace of Yahweh is saying, my people will earn peace. They will receive peace. So we are waiting for his peace gloriously to be part and parcel of us, because Yahweh, Yeshua, is the Prince of Peace. He is the peace. O Yahweh, our Father, other sovereigns beside thee have had dominion over us, but by thee only will we make mention of thy name. All these nations that have been against us, chasing us, pursuing us, afflicting us, troubling us, harming us, killing us, maiming us, whatever they like they do to us, well, we overcome them because we follow the just way of Yahweh, uprightness of Yahweh, faithfulness of Yahweh, righteousness of Yahweh. Now, time will come when Yahweh will stand for us. Because these people that are attacking us, they have their kings. Satan being their father. And the beasts, the false prophets, and false teachers, all those names will come handy. But by thee only will we make mention of thy name. Remember Exodus 23, verse 13. So make no mention of another name. Let it not be heard. Let the names of those idols or gods, all these hefty kings, lofty kings of the earth, let them not be your God. Do not depend on them. Don't mention, don't let them be object of your worship. People worship all these big gods today. People worship Satan today. People worship whatever they can worship. Said no, their names is not Yahweh or your glory or what or whom you depend upon or whom you mention. Don't. Yahweh only is whom you will mention. They are dead. Talking about the lofty men, kings of the earth, nations, they are gone. Yahweh sees them as dead people. They are dead. They shall not live. They are diseased. They shall not rise. Therefore hast thou visited and destroyed them, and made all their memory to perish. So do not depend on them. Do not trust them. Do not mention or bow to their idols, the idols of the Gentile religions of the earth, whether it is Islam or Judaism or Christianity or Hindu, whatever those religious powers and their leaders are, do not bow to them. Do not follow them. Thou hast increased the nation, O Yahweh. Because at the end of the day, the nation of Israel, it will start small, but Yahweh will increase and increase and increase it, and it will rule all the nations of the world. O Yahweh, thou hast increased the nation, thou art glorified, thou hast removed it far unto the ends of the earth. Yahweh is coming to take all Israel. Remember, this message is for Israel. Israel that is being persecuted, Israel that is being troubled, Israel that is being, abused. Israel has been enslaved for years, for decades, for centuries, for millennia. Israel has been, marginalized. Israel has been impoverished. Israel has been almost annihilated. But Yahweh will expand it, increase it, as Yahweh brings it from the ends of the earth into their land. Yahweh, in trouble have they visited thee. They poured out a prayer when thy chastening was upon them. So in these latter days, as we are, being pursued and chastised by these powerful nations, kings, rulers of the earth and all that, we will pour prayer to Yahweh. We will pray. Most times you hear me, I do tell you, pray, 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 pray. That is what the Bible is saying we should do. Because we are entering into dangerous times. The dangerous times. We can see it, they're expressing it, they're not hiding it. Only that he that withholds them is still keeping them by the corner. But gradually, the enemy is getting loosed. The beast. We are praying that Yahweh will show mercy. So that what you hear today, our brothers in Africa will hear. Our brothers in Asia will hear. Our brothers and sisters in Europe will hear. Those in America will hear. because not many are hearing this truth today. It takes the spirit of Yahweh, it takes Yahweh. And this latter day, remember what he said in Jeremiah chapter 16, that he's going to send them fishers before the hunters. The fishers has been there, the fishers have been speaking and talking, but the veil is still too strong upon them. The veil. So Yahweh is saying, pray. As you pray, your prayer will affect your brother that is sleeping. Prayer wakes up our brothers, our sisters. Prayer holds the hands of the enemies persecuting. Prayer is the powerhouse. Prayer is the instrument of our warfare. Prayer is the weapon of our warfare. Prayer is the sword of the Spirit. Prayer, in fact, through prayer, the sword of the Spirit speaks. That is the word itself speaks. It echoes into the hearts of the wicked and makes sure at the end that the result is achieved. That is what prayer does. If you do not pray, heaven will not act. That is how it works. When you pray, heaven will stand for you. Heaven will speak for you. Yahshua will speak for you. Yahweh will act for you. That's how it works. Like as a woman with child that draweth near the time of her delivery is in pain and crieth out in her pangs, so have we been in thy sight, O Yahweh. The trouble is coming, is brewing, like a troubled woman who is about to deliver her baby. A woman that is in travail, about to bring a child into the world. Trouble comes, pains comes, agony, anguish. She begins to run helter-skelter. How can I be safe? How can I deliver the baby free without issues, without problem, even without dying? How can we escape them without dying? How can we escape all this trouble that is coming? Because they do not love you. Prayer. That's all we need. We have been with child. We have been in pain. We have, as it were, brought forth wind. So we have not wrought any deliverance in the earth, neither have the inhabitants of the world fallen. Well, so we have done so much, have prayed so much, we have had so much pain, we have had so much, but nothing is happening. We are not delivered. We are not delivered. We have fasted, we have prayed. Oh, pastor said we should fast today, we should pray tomorrow, we should do it again. Oh, when will this stop? And you go and relax. You go and sleep. Then the enemy will invade. Pray and pray and pray. Never stop until your prayer is answered. Until something happens. Continue to pray. Thy dead men shall live together with their dead body. Shall they arise? Awake and sing, ye that dwell in dust. For thy dew is as the dew of harps, and the earth shall cast out the dead. Yeah. Even in the latter days, Yahweh will awake his people. Not only the living, praying to escape. They will escape. He will make a way for them. If you pray, they will get answer. Then the dead. So it's not only the living. The dead will also be saved. Israelites that are in Yahshua will be saved. Believers in Yahshua, all, the dead and the living, will be saved. Come, my people, enter into thy chambers and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself as it were for a little moment until the indignation be overpassed. Where do we see this happen? In Egypt. Remember the land of Goshen? He kept them there. That was their chamber. Stay there until I finish with Pharaoh. Till I punish Pharaoh. When it got to the third, fourth, fifth plague and so on, it never affected Israel. Israelites were free, while the enemies were being punished. Today people talk about coronavirus. This is the beginning of the bad time. Time will come when the pestilences, diseases will so increase, double, multiply than what is being seen today. That's what the scripture said. At that time, who will be your medical doctor, your nurse? Who will be your physician, your medication? Who? Yahweh. Remember his name. He mentioned his name twice in Isaiah chapter 26 there. That's what is going to redeem you, keep you safe, protect you, defend you. Because there will be no medication. Even if it's there, it will not work. It's just like the power of Egypt was not saving them. All the magicians, all the soothsayers, all the astrologers, all the stargazers, all the procrastinators, all of them fell like flies. They were not they were not moving. They were not hearing from Satan again. Yahweh cut off the power of Satan, cut off the power of his speaking, cut off the power. All that Satan was transmitting to them, everything fell apart. Those in the sea fell apart, in the air fell apart, in the bush, in the water, in the animals, all of them were slaughtered. Dead to it. The same thing is coming. That is what he's saying here, that he will keep you safe. When that day of Yahweh will start unleashing, the wrath of Yahweh will start unleashing. Now, Israelites shall be saved, because he keep them safe in his chamber. They will wait there until Yahweh finish demolishing his enemies. Verse 21. For behold, Yahweh cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain. No more will they say, where is Israel? Let us bring them out and eat them. Let us chase them like, a cat will be chasing a rat into a hole. Want to get there, eat the cat. Eat the rat. No more. Israel, you will be no more chased about. You'll be free and free forever. The same thing that happened to Israelites in Egypt will happen again. You can hear Yahweh, telling us that he kept them safe in their chambers until he finished punishing the Egyptians. If you look at Revelation from chapter 6 to chapter 19, it's all about disaster. The plague, from great tribulation to wrath of Yahweh, and plague, so many plagues, to the point that he said, those that take the mark of the beast. What is the mark of the beast? The mark of the beast is found in the name of the beast. And another way he presented it is the number of the beast. The number of the beast is also in that name. The mark, which he said could be 666, rather is 666, is within the name. He said the beast is recognized, his name is recognized by this 666 something. So it is either the mark, the number, or the name. All of them are the same. When by the name, you get the number. By the name of the beast, you get the number. So all those that have taken the mark, the mark of the beast, their forehead, or by their hands, they will get it. Now, today many people are panicking. COVID-19 vaccine could be the mark. No, I've said it before. In fact, one of the books, I don't know whether I've distributed it to you. COVID-19 is not the mark, because Satan will want to use the whatever to boo-boo people, to cover people, to make people believe a lie, so that they fall prey into the real trouble or snare that he put out there. The mark is about worship. if you read Revelation chapter 13 and 14, you can't read 13 without 14. You can't read 14 without 13. You read them simultaneously, you will discover this secret. It's all about the mark. Whether mark of Yahweh or mark of the beast. It is from the mark of Yahweh that Satan copied what he's doing. Mark of Yahweh is all about worship. And in chapter 14 was saying worshiping that created heaven and earth, that created the firmament, that created the land, that created the seas and the fountains of the waters. That is whom you worship. And that takes us to Genesis chapter 2 and 3. Now, worship. When do we do our worship? Particularly on the very day because he gave it as a law in Exodus chapter 20 verse 8 to 11. He gave it as a law that we must worship him. What day did he mention there? The seventh day. And he called it Shabbat or Sabbath. So that is the day you done to. That is the test of commandment. Test of all that is commanding you to do is testing you based on this Shabbat. Now, anybody that enters to observe this is into obedience. So in chapter 14 of Revelation, he said, do not worship the beast and the image of the beast, and do not take the mark of the beast or the name of the mark. He said, this is the sign. The sign is the number. He said the beast has a number that depicts his name. So what he's saying here is that if you bow to the enemy by that name which he bear, because the enemy will come with the beast, and they will make an image for the beast, which you call statue. Now, it is this image or the statue that they are going to bow to, and within it is the name of this beast. The name of this beast. Another way you recognize this name is by what he goes with, 666. You either recognize him by his outright name or by what the number designates, which also refers to the name. Now, the devil is currently steering people to look at COVID-19. COVID-19 vaccine that if you take it, you take the mark. I don't see any mark here because it's talking about worship. One, the beast is not yet known. The beast the Bible is talking about in Revelation chapter 13 and 14 is not yet known. So what is the name of the beast? What is the name of the beast currently? Does anybody know? We don't know yet. So it's not known. Now, if you don't know the name, that means you may not know the mark, the figures that is mentioned here. And location. Location, that is country where the beast is going to rise. Does anybody know? Now, we've been saying out of Europe, maybe the eastern part of Europe. Fine. But it hasn't happened. Because there is 10 kings. 10 kings that will come out from 10 kings will rule with the beasts. So who is the king? Who are these kings? Who are these kings that is going to? We don't know yet. Because the world is trying to reconfigure itself. At the end of the day, these kings will emerge. There are so many things that are queries that are yet to be answered, which we will see them answered in near future as we move into the future. I'm just bringing this out. We are not teaching about the mark of the beast, but just to let us know that what Yahweh is talking about here, particularly in these latter days, is that we must know whom we worship. Look at that verse 21. They say, "For behold, Yahweh cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain." Why? Because human beings have left Yahweh and worship another. And as a result, they must be punished. It's like a father and children in the house, or parents in the house. Parents choose to go and honor another parent or another person, forsake their father, reject their mother, reject, who brought them into the earth. So what do you think that those parents will do to the child or to the children? One day they wash their hands clean. So that's what Yahweh is about to do. So that's why worship is very, very instrumental. It's the 10th commandment, and that is found in Sabbath worship. So when you are worshiping Yahweh on the Sabbath, you are not wasting your time. You are completely, what you are doing is you are completely submitting into obedience. You are completely saying, Yahweh, I am with you totally. And that is where you appropriate his name. That is where the name of Yahweh will be sealed. You will be sealed with his name. Though you have to go through baptism, and you have to be taking the Passover meal for that seal to be complete. So far, let us leave it here. Or do you want us to carry to chapter 27? Chapter 27. Mm-hmm. Hello, are we there?
Yes.
Okay, somebody should read for us from there. Somebody read for us chapter 27. I may stop the person as he goes on. It's just only 13 verses. It's not much, but it's huge. It talks about Yahweh keeps Israel, his vineyard. It's still the same. It's the same chapter 25, 26, 27. They're all the same. He's concentrating on Israel, how he's going to save Israel, his vineyard, when the trouble will ensue upon the earth. So let's quickly brush it. Since we agree we can touch that, then we round off. Can somebody help us read it?
In that day.
No. Can somebody help us within the forum there, please?
you want to read it? I'm at work, so.
I suggest I read it. I'm using a different Bible.
Okay. Who else is there that can read it? In that day, Yahweh with his sword and the great and sorry.
Yeah, I've got our Bible.
Okay, chapter 27.
So 20, Isaiah 27.
Go on.
Okay, and in that day, Yahweh with his sword and great and strong sword shall punish Leviathan, the piercing serpent, even Leviathan, that crooked serpent, and he shall slay the dragon that is in the sea.
All right. That verse 1 there says that serpent will go. In the judgment that Yahweh is talking about, before Israel will be free, completely free. Sorry, what am I reading? Serpent, Satan will go. The Leviathan will be destroyed. Take him away. All the demons will go. Evil spirits will go. Evil men and women will go. Yahweh will take away all these before the earth will begin to have a breathing space. Yahweh will destroy them. Revelation chapter 20. In fact, if from Revelation 19 towards the end of it to Revelation chapter 20, beginning from there, you see how Yahweh is going to destroy the serpent, the beast, the false prophets, and Satan himself. All of them will go. Go on.
In that day, sing ye unto her, a vineyard of red wine. I, Yahweh, do keep it. I will water it every moment, lest any hurt it, and will keep it night and day.
Israel is talking about now Israel. He has talked about the serpent. Now he's talking about Israel. Israel will be saved. Israel will be saved. Gone.
For fury is not in me. Who will set their rise and tongues against me in battle? I will go through them. I will bend them together. Or let him take hold of my strength, that he may make peace with me, and he shall make peace with me.
Now, Yahweh is saying here, he will devastate, he will punish the world. That Satan is the king, is the ruler, is the commander-in-chief, and all those that follow him, he will punish them. He will save Israel. But now, anybody now, say, there is allowance, there is space for repentance. Yahweh is calling for repentance now. Anybody who will be saved should do something. How will you be saved in this repentance? How will you be saved? Remember, he talked about going the way of his justice, judgment, righteousness, remaining faithful. But you can't do that without understanding what he's calling you to do. Where is his Torah? Torah is the instructor, the book of instruction. Remember, the book of instruction and the law. So either call it Torah or instruction or law or the word or Yahshua. Remember, Yahshua is the word. So for you to get away from sin, repenting from your sin and returning and to be restored, you have to understand what his word is saying. And his word is Yahshua. Go on.
6. He shall cause them that come of Jacob to take root.
Now the enemies of Israel shall die. Go on.
8. In measure, when it shooteth forth, thou wilt debate with it. He stayed and left like a wilderness. There shall the calf feed, and there shall he lie down, and consume the branches thereof. 11. When the boughs thereof are withered, they shall be broken off. The women come and set them on fire, for it is a people of no understanding. Therefore he that made them will not have mercy on them, and he that formed them will shew them no favor. 12. And it shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh shall beat off from the channel of the river unto the stream of Egypt, and ye shall be gathered one by one, O ye children of Israel. And it shall come to pass in that day that the great trumpet shall be blown, and they shall come which were ready to perish in the land of Assyria, and the outcast in the land of Egypt, and shall worship Yahweh in the holy mount at Jerusalem. Amen.
Hallelujah. Okay. This is what Isaiah is trying to tell us. Israel will be saved. Now, after Yahweh would have begun to deal with the earth, and they can't deal with the earth without handling the enemy or the cause or the king of the earth, Satan, the false prophets, the beast, and so on. All the kings of the world, he will handle them. Now, those who escape will come to repentance. We must be prepared for them, because by his name we shall do that work. Now, Torah will come into limelight. Without Torah, you can't do that. And those that will be saved will be led to know Torah, the word of Yahweh, which is Yahshua. He is the one that at the end of the day, because his spirit is in there, that will draw them to Yahweh forever. Now, Jacob will have roots. Where? In the land. The kingdom, remember. Two promises. Yahshua being the seed and the land. So, Jacob, Israel, the seed of the land will take root. They will live there. They will never be conquered again. Now, enemies shall die. All enemies, after Yahweh will have punished Satan and all his cohorts, the enemies that join with Satan, that fellowship, drank, eat, run errand for Satan, will be destroyed. Now, Jacob, all the elements or remnants of, the people of Jacob will be examined, tested, and purged. So the wicked ones amongst them will be swept away, as he swept away those who dine and wine with Satan, because they join forces with Satan. They will not join his people. They will not be partakers of the Holy Land, the land of Jacob, the land of Israel, flourishing with milk and honey. In fact, they will not get there. No favor will be shown to the disobedient, whether they're Israelites or they are the Gentile people. No favor of Yahweh. They will not escape Yahweh's wrath. So both the Gentile world and Israelite world that do not know Yahweh, do not know his name, do not fellowship with him, do not subscribe to his way, do not worship him, they will go. He will destroy them. Israel shall be restored. Finally, Israel shall be restored all over. From east, west, north, south, wherever they are, they'll be restored. And Bible talk about second Exodus. This is where we talk about second Exodus. We don't talk about rapture. Rather, we talk about Exodus. We talk about Israel returning to the land. We talk about Yahweh restoring his people as he did it in the days of Israel in Egypt. The same way he's going to take his people back to the land. That is what he's saying in that latter part of the chapter, verses that are there. Israel shall be restored. Jerusalem, being the headquarters of the whole world, shall also be restored, and all whole Israelites will take root in that land, and that is the capital city. That is where the king will dwell, and Yahweh will be worshipped there. So all nations of the earth at the end of the day will go to Jerusalem to worship Yahweh. That's what Isaiah is trying to decode there. So all we need to do is listen to his voice, hear his word, hear his instruction. Keep on to the covenant commandment way. Covenant commandment. You say, way. Who is that way? Yeshua is the way, the truth, and the life. And all this is about his voice. Hear his voice. Always. His voice is Genesis to Revelation. All that he has spoken in this book we are carrying. And all of them are made within the agreement called covenant. So we must uphold all he commanded in them all. Follow him. And guess what? When he come back, you will not miss the kingdom. That is the promise. He cannot lie. He that has said this through his powerful prophets, not only Jeremiah, Isaiah, all of them, both minor and major prophets, they all said the same thing, that someday, one day, this world will be judged. And those who fall victim, following Satan, worshiping Satan, and relegating Yahweh to the background, shunning the way of Yahweh, shunning the way of his covenant commandments, relegating his voice to the background, and treading it on the ground, they will be destroyed. And those that are able to be, rescued, will be rescued and polished and be taken to the land. That is Yahweh's promise. All this we are reading are promises that Yahweh has, given to his people in these latter days. By next week, we will look at Isaiah's prophecies regarding the people of Ephraim, Israel. Now, it's specific here. When the Bible talks about Ephraim, it talks about the 10 tribes. So Yahweh mapped out how he's going to, deal with them, punish them. But it's a sounding warning. Israel, warning. So if we adhere to the warning, it will be well with us. And also, we are going to look at the few other nations as we go along. Then we'll be ready to enter. By the time we get to from chapter 40, we'll be breathing air of relief, air of freedom, air of safety. Enter into your chamber. That all those areas are promises what Yahweh is going to do to Israel. You see, Isaiah captured what is coming massively. If we are obedient, we will reap the fruits of the land. We'll be beneficiaries of all the blessings that has been poured out through the word of Yahweh. May that be your portion. Mm-hmm. May we experience Yahweh's restoration of his people, because it's a promise that is coming to be fulfilled. And we can read the handwriting on the wall. can see the signs everywhere. And all he's calling us to do is to be obedient. Come back to the word. Don't follow the Gentile religion. Gentile religion destroys. The covenant way of Yahweh saves through Yeshua, our Messiah. May that be our portion. Yeshua's name. Hallelujah. Query, observation, comments from what we studied so far?
Yeah, one comment.
Yeah.
You talked about the mark being branded on the forehead and on the hand.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to establish that this is not physical branding. If something the Bible talk about something being in your forehead, it's about what you've learned and what you go about. And you made mention of the beast, worshiping the beast. So we read in the book of Revelation that the mark of the beast is his worship, the day of worship. So if you're doing the bidding of Satan, you are learning it, and that goes into your mind, which is your brain, and you use your hand to do. So it's not physical branding, but spiritual branding. That's what we're talking about here.
Yeah, the mark that the Bible mentioned here has to do with more of the spirit, what you achieve at spirit level, and what you achieve also at the physical level by doing your actions. Your action is within the physical level. What do you do? Like today we have started Sabbath till tomorrow. You perform, you act, you obey. You act out. Then in the spiritual sense, it has brought you into knowledge. That is why it's a mark on the forehead. The forehead talks about cognitive aspect of you, the reasoning, your reasoning capacity. How do you think? How do you reason? How do you apply yourself? What did you ask you to do? Oh, he says I should do A, B, C, D. So you put yourself into the... What is that? You put yourself into the A, B, C, D of what he commands you to do. That way you're achieving the spiritual act of it, as well as the physical act of it. It's either by the forehead or the hand. The hand is action itself. By the hand, you are doing. You are literally applying yourself to what Yahweh says you should do. But the reasoning aspect comes from your forehead. And that is where what you read, what you are educated, what you are taught, the word of Yahweh goes in there. And it tells you, or guides your hand to what your hand will be doing. So you're right, it's more of, spiritual calling, is more of spiritual direction that the Bible has painted there. But you can't beat Satan to that. Satan will, tell you it is all the physical things that are available. And you will also see the physical aspect, because Bible said, let us look at Revelation chapter 13 to let you know exactly what Yahweh is saying. There will be physical aspect of it that will be demonstrated. Otherwise, how will you recognize? The Bible drew our attention to what the beast is going to come out with. He's going to come out with a name. And that name, you can also find it in the number of the beast, the number that the beast go with. Let us look at Revelation. Sorry, some other place that is not. Revelation chapter 13. is my book of Revelation. All right. We read from verses 15, 16, 17. It says, he was then permitted to give life to this statue. You mentioned statue there before, so that it could speak. So that image will speak. It has power to, make the statue, the image, to speak. Then the statue of the beast commanded that anyone refusing to worship it must die. So that's what the statue is going to say. Anybody refusing to worship, so there is physical something that will be done by this beast. The beast will literally do a physical thing, his own image. Look at what Nebuchadnezzar did in Daniel chapter 3. He is going to exhibit the same thing. That thing is going to reoccur again. The image or the statue is going to be his own image, his own statue. He is going to command human beings to worship the image of that beast. It's not that beast now taking the worship. Can see what Satan does. That's why Yahweh says, do not do image. Because Satan is the one using image to take glory. So he is going to do image. Is that image people are going to bow to? But that image is going to carry the name of the beast. So let us see what that name is going to do. He required everyone, small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to be given a mark on the right hand or on the forehead. And no one, so they're going to be given a mark. Now you will now see how he's going to describe this mark. And no one could buy or sell anything without that mark. So there will be literal something which will be bearing the mark. There will be something connoting, whether it is object they prepared or whatever, in any way they will engrave the mark, or they will carry, or people will carry the mark by their hand or by their. But there will be something that people will look out as a mark through which anybody that possesses it will be part of buying and selling, which was either the name of the beast. So this mark will just be a name of the beast, or the number representing his name. The number. So it's a name or the number. The number and the name are the same. What he's telling you is that you will, in other way to recognize the name, you can figure it out from the number. So they're the same. So wisdom is needed here. Let the one with understanding solve the meaning of the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. His number is 666. We are called to get understanding of the number of the beast. The number of a man. It says it's a number of a man. So that person, the beast, is a man, and has made a statue or an image. And in that image is what people will submit themselves, they will bow to. That is number one. And for them to be free in the land, to move, to travel, to buy, to sell, to do anything, to be part of that kingdom, they will have this name of the fellow. How they are going to do it, whether it's something that is going to be like a card or paper or document or whatever, they are going to, be going with that, moving with that. And here, people are saying, for instance, in these last days, people are saying that COVID-19, the chip or the vaccine or that they're going to later do a mark, well, whatever it is, but the enemy has to be identified, the beast and the name. And the name must correspond with the number. So when that is done, in whatever they tune, whatever they are doing, whether it is microchip or whether it is card or whatever, then you know that is it. But you must know. Yahweh will not, the beast and his mark must be known to people. That's what the Bible is saying. It's not something that is fishy. It's not something that, you struggle to know, or that will be hazy, or that will be taken, you struggle or you begin to learn. The Bible has mentioned how you get to know about it. It must be known. It said it's a man that is carrying it. So we must, has the man arrived? The man hasn't arrived. If he has arrived, what is his name? Can you equate his name? Because this beast is not Papas, it's not the first prophet. The beast is the secular leader. You get it? The beast is the secular leader. He is the lawless man, the son of perdition. That is what the Bible is describing as the beast. He takes all his powers from Satan. Revelation chapter 13. If you look at verses 2 and 3, he takes all his power from Satan. Satan gave him his throne, his power, his authority, and he does all that he's doing. So, whereas today we can say the first beast or the other beast has emerged, we can see it. That office has been running for a long time. But the particular beast that Yahweh is keeping away until he that let it will no longer let it, or will allow it to operate until he gives way. So Yahweh hasn't given way, and we are praying he will not give way. And if this time around he has given way, very soon the enemy will emerge. So as soon as the enemy emerge or the beast emerge, the name will appear, and that will be it. Whatever he's going to do, he's going to do it in his name, because the issue is that he wants to lure people to worship him. Worship him in that his name. The worship is based on his name. So that is the issue. The whole thing is all about worship. So who is coming that the world is going to bow to? The world is going to worship. So he will have a name. As we worship Yahweh, as we worship Yahshua. So we worship him based on his name, isn't it? So the beast that is coming, the world is going to worship. What is his name? That's what the Bible is saying. And what I'm seeing in this latter days, it may not be, he will change a name. He want to change. Bible talk about forces. That is going to, book of Daniel talk about, he's going to worship forces of nature. So he may not use the name Jesus. He may change. This name has been changed right from Baal, from Jupiter, from Zeus, from Isos, from Isos, from Jesus. So in this letter, there is going to change to forces of nature, which is going to come out with that name, the name of the beast, which the world is going to worship. So we must be very careful. All we know is that Yahweh and Yahshua is whom we serve, whom we worship. The other one that is coming, just watch out so that you don't worship him. That's what Revelation chapter 14 is warning us. Do not worship, do not worship, do not worship that beast. The three angels, that is the message. Do not worship. Because within that, with his name, you do the worship. You do the mark, whatever the mark is. And the person will be straight. The person will, be counted as worshiping Satan. And there will be no return. Yahweh will destroy those people. Did that answer you? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, let's close the meeting. Father, we thank you. We bless you for this day. We thank you for giving us ample opportunity once again to look at your word of liberty. This is the word of freedom. Your law, your word is the freedom of Israel. We eat it, we drink it, we internalize it, which is Yahshua. That is the end of the law, the purpose of the law. the main reason why we must live and live in him is reading the word, understanding the word, internalizing it, and applying ourselves to it. Father, we thank you. Do not allow what we hear from you tonight to escape from us. Do not allow us to stray to the enemy. Do not allow the enemy to take them away. Do not allow them to be plucked off from us, so that we walk in blindness. Remove every blindness. Remove every darkness. Remove every plan of the enemy to put us away. Help us to continue to follow you to the end. And when Yeshua will come, when the trumpet will sound, when you will be speaking to the nations and the world, Father, we will be able to be restored unto you and be rooted in Israel, to whom you prepared that particular land, from which Yeshua is going to rule the whole world. May we be part of it. May we never look back. Glory be to your holy name. Father, through the night, keep us safe, protect us. And as we continue with the Sabbath observance, help us so that we will, Father, dwell with you, rest in your bosom all through tomorrow. In Yeshua's name we have prayed. Hallelujah.